Voice of Indonesia.
Voice of Indonesia from Indonesia to the world. Welcome back to me, Ahmad Faisal. And listening to music can give us peace for our heart and mind. And most of people really like to listen to music. But the question is, can you play a musical instrument? Well, regarding this, we have such a special review with Tom van der Zaal as jazz saxophonist from the Netherlands. Here he is at the studio of Voice of Indonesia. Let us greet Mr. Tom. How are you today, Tom van der Zaal?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I had a quite busy week, but I'm happy to be in Jakarta. Beautiful city, beautiful people, so I'm doing very well, I must say. Thank you.
It's nice to see you today at the studio of Voice of Indonesia.
Thank you.
Well, it seems that you really master to play saxophone. Can you tell us about the experiences, or how do you firstly play and learn about the saxophone?
I learned about saxophone and especially the music style, jazz music, through my father, who was also a saxophone player. So I grew up with jazz music since I'm 3 years old. So I actually knew from a very young age that I wanted to become a saxophonist. So that means you got to practice many years, many hours, and in the beginning it's a little bit boring, I must say, and then because you're not so good yet. And but after a few years, you start to grow and get better, and then it's the most beautiful thing in the world. So you need to practice a lot, listen a lot of music, make mistakes, and learn from those mistakes, and and a career in music and being a saxophonist. I wouldn't choose another profession.
So you also got the influence of playing this from your father?
Definitely, yes, correct.
So long time, when you were at 12 years old?
Yeah, I started when I was 12 years old, but I played clarinet before, so I started music when I was 8 years old. So learning how to read notes and learning the basics of music. But the main reason was because my fingers were too small for the saxophone. So I had to wait a few years. Yeah. So yeah, that's from 12 years old I'm playing saxophone.
So as you were a beginner, so actually what are the difficulties how to play learn saxophone?
The technique, there's a lot of theory. I mean, learning notes, how to read notes, the theory behind improvisation, ear training, listening a lot of music. I would say, like with saxophone, the most difficult thing is to create a good tone, like a good sound. And for me, that's the most important in being a saxophonist, like to be able to create a signature in sound so that people recognize you. So the sound can be your brand, actually, as a saxophone player. Yeah.
So you really love playing saxophone?
Definitely, I love it. Yeah. I wake up with it and I dream about it and I go to bed with it. Yeah.
So after maybe when you were teenagers, did you also perform maybe in some events or festivals?
Yes, I've always, also at a younger age, I've always been in young talent projects and already performing at big festivals like the North Sea Jazz Festival from age 16. I won some competitions, like the Prinses Christina concours. That's quite a big competition in Holland for classical musicians and jazz musicians till you're 19 old. So it's for younger upcoming musicians. So yeah, I was really focusing at a young age, like learning, getting better, trying to do concerts on festivals and venues, and play with musicians you like, and that needs time, and you develop a taste as well. That's it.
So do you also have such a group of music when you play this?
Group?
Yes.
Yeah, I have my own group. I just released my new album, Sketchbook of Dreams, last month, and that project is actually launched during the pandemic, during COVID, and I decided to learn something new. So I took arranging and composition lessons with a good teacher in The Hague, and I wrote all the music for a whole string orchestra.
Wow!
And here in Indonesia, I'm presenting the music of that album, but then with my own quartet, with my own band, that consists out of like top musicians in Europe, and like my bass player lives in the Netherlands, but he's from Brazil, and they also have their own projects playing all over the world. So it's fun to do it and to play your own music with great musicians. Yeah.
So by music, you can go around the world.
Yes, that's my goal, and also like the place where I'm from is a small country. So if you do 5 concerts in the Netherlands, it's kind of, then you have all the clubs you played, and then the tour's over, you know. And then so my focus is playing abroad and international. Yeah.
So Tom, I have information. Actually, you have won many awards, such as the Princess Christina in 2006, and Sena Jazz in 2016. And many more. Yeah. So precisely, what is music? What does music mean for you?
Well, for me, music really represents my feeling, my intuition, the things I hear, the things I feel, and this is what I would like to communicate with an audience. And that's the live playing, doing concerts, but also writing music is very personal. Of course, it comes from a feeling. Like most of the time when I write music, it's because I'm inspired by being abroad in another country. So most of my numbers that I write were written in Paris, in St. Petersburg, Russia, in Berlin, Germany. So probably I'm going to write new music when I'm home after visiting Indonesia. So that's one part. It's just like showing what I hear and what I feel to an audience. That's probably the best.
Okay, so listener and also viewers of Voice of Indonesia would like to listen to and watch about the first music carried out by Tom with title Sam Voce.
Hey!
Okay, that's the title of music, Sam Voce from Tom van der Zaal. So let's continue about our discussion actually. Why do you come to Indonesia? Actually, in what kind of events that you would like to perform?
Well, I got invited by the Erasmushuis to do performances here, and like last week we played at Nagoya Jazz, yeah, and at Yogyakarta, and we played on the main stage there, and there were so many people like in the audience, and also the location in the middle of the fields and palm trees around it. For me, that's very exotic to see such an event like this. So that's really a dream coming true. And yeah, playing for so many people on festivals and beautiful locations. Yeah, that's like the highest you can reach artistically. And so that's also my goal here, to show my music to as much as possible. And yeah, I think festivals and nice venues like Erasmushuis tonight is the best occasion for it.
Tonight in Jakarta you will perform?
Yes.
Oh,
At Erasmushuis at 7:30.
So how many songs that you would like to perform actually?
Well, I like to play more tunes, but we are only allowed to play 6. Yeah. So 6 tunes, yeah.
That's the favorite song for you?
Yeah, at the moment that's also part of the album that I released last month. And we combine it with some other new tunes. So yeah.
Well, will you also perform along with maybe Indonesian saxophonist, or only you with your team perform that?
You mean that musicians would play my music? Or?
Yeah, I mean tonight.
No, I only play with my band.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's all musicians who live in the Netherlands, and we flew together with my band. So we've been also traveling together this week. So no, it's only with artists from the Netherlands tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, do you know about the development of Indonesian jazz today?
Yeah, well, yes, I'm familiar with it. Also, when I was attending the conservatory in The Hague, I studied with some Indonesian musicians, and they're now head of department here in the conservatory, like Indrawan, great bass player. There was a great piano player from Amsterdam. He's really amazing artist. So I really see like development in that. And yesterday we did a workshop as well at the conservatory of Jakarta, and yeah, really a lot of talent on that school, and yeah, and I think it's really growing. Yeah,
I see. So, listener and also viewers of Voice Indonesia, let us listen to and watch again for another song from Tom with title Blues. Okay, that's the song from Tom with title Blues. So, Tom, maybe can you tell us a little bit about why the title of blues of the song?
well, For this radio show, I chose to do play a blues and then only improvisation. So this was really made up on the spot. So it's not a real existing tune. But the reason why I chose for it, because of course I don't have my band here, so then you cannot present all material and all repertoire. So I thought it would be nice to play a blues, because blues will always be the roots of jazz music.
Okay.
So and especially I like an American artist called Charlie Parker, and then I really try to play in the tradition of Charlie Parker, and it's kind of a saxophone player from the 40s and 50s. So for me, it's very important to always show a blues everywhere where I play. Yeah.
Well, during your life when you play saxophone, is there such memorable experience that you remember until now because of saxophone?
That's a good question. Yeah, but it has to do also with locations that are new for me. Like when you play in your own country, you probably already performed at that venue or at that club, so that's not new. And for me, the experience is memorable when I played in France, in Germany, in Italy, and now Indonesia, because those are really experienced, like with the traveling and you're only focused on music for like a few weeks when you're on tour. While in the Netherlands, you have to do your taxes, and you have to pay your bills.
Yes.
So you get distracted from music. So all good memories are actually from performing abroad and trying to set up a career as an international artist. So yeah, that's it.
Well, is there also another, I can say, maybe I can say, deepest feeling after you perform by playing saxophone? Maybe your life become more peaceful, your mind becomes more, I can say, congenial, right? And peaceful of mind. Is there something like experience of this?
Yeah, totally. That's it makes me the most happy. And of course, when you do something what you love most, that's the most beautiful thing there is, and it's the most personal thing there is. I wouldn't be able to go to like an office job from 9 till 5, at least in the Netherlands it's from 9 till 5, because every day the same kind of routine, and with music, and especially with improvisation and jazz music, it's always different. You always have to play a new solo, so it's always exciting, and I think it's very good for the mind. And you really play how you feel at that moment, so that can be very happy. Maybe the other day you're a little bit sad, and it's also good to show that. So so I think it's very peaceful for the mind, actually. Yeah.
Even bringing romanticism, right?
yeah, and I also would describe myself as a romantic player more. So I'm really focusing on lyricism, melody, feeling, presenting a nice sound. So that's also my approach, actually.
So I'm really interested in the explanation that you explained before about quartet. Yes, so when do you join the quartet?
This quartet, like with these musicians, we're actually playing for years already with each other. And like the piano player I'm playing normally with, he couldn't make it this tour. So I asked Karel Belay, he's a fantastic piano player from the Netherlands, and he has played all over the world with many big artists as well. So I'm very happy that he joined us. So this quartet that we play tonight with at Erasmushuis is really kind of designed for Indonesia. So I thought these musicians would really work well for Indonesia. And we play also a lot with each other in the Netherlands. So
Tom, can you give such recommendation or suggestion maybe for not only for Indonesian people, especially as beginners, how to play saxophone so that they have such enthusiasm or spirit, how to master about saxophone?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say listen a lot of music and listen to all the great artists. And let's say if you would go to New York, and New York is like the heaven of jazz, still is where it's happened and where the music is born, together with the New Orleans, cities like that. all great masters will say go back to the 40s, 30s, 40s, where jazz music was very popular at the time, and listen to all greats like Charlie Parker, Ella Fitzgerald. Listen to a lot of singers. Check out the lyrics and try to copy those solos and try to check all solos by ear and just listening. Yeah, I think that's the best practice to start. And then you try to play along with the record, and then the rest will come. Like theory and these kind of things will come later.
Okay, the last question, Tom. So, what is your hope for the sake of, I can say, for all people who would like to listen to jazz music, and also for your best future?
I would again say listen a lot. I think also education is very important. So I think also it should be supported, more education in music in schools, and it should always have priority. And there's a lot of listening. Yeah,
Lots of listening.
And spreading the word to your friends and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Tom van der Zaal, for your time
Thank
to
you.
have such special interview today.
Thank you.
Okay, listener and so viewers of Voice of Indonesia, that's our interview with Tom van der Zaal as jazz saxophonist from the Netherlands. I'm Ahmad Faisal, would like to say thank you very much and see you next time.